Hey guys, it's Melissa here from Agrestic Acres. Thanks for checking in today. I wanted to update you on our broody hen situation. As soon as I took my last video last time, of course we started having some broody mama drama. So I'm going to try to fill you in briefly on, oh my gosh, they're being so loud. I just restarted this video and here they go again, but we're just going to have to keep moving forward. So we're having some broody mama drama. So yesterday, in the morning, I noticed that the copper moran, who has twice laid in the nest box that the broody mama is in, Annie, the buck Orpington hen, I noticed that she was in the nest box with her, I assumed trying to lay again. She seemed a few times like she might be sitting on her eggs longer, maybe firing up to be broody, but I haven't really taken her seriously. Yesterday, I put her some separate eggs aside for her, like 2 that just had been laid, let her sit there so that she would leave Annie alone. So, fast forward a few hours, I came back to the house, and I'm just checking on the situation. The copper moran hen is gone, so I'm like, okay, she wasn't being broody, she was just bothering the other hen. But I noticed there's an egg missing from the nest box. So, we're missing an Easter egg or egg. I spend the next hour thoroughly cleaning out the nest boxes, checking under the hen, thinking that maybe there's a lot of bedding in there because I want it to be really padded, thinking that maybe it got lost in the bedding, got moved to another one. You know, where did it go? Did someone steal it? Did someone eat it? Thinking I would probably find some of it somewhere. Never found it. Meanwhile, during this hour, I spent the time cleaning out the duck coop, the chicken coop, just observing the chickens, etc. I started to think, you know, when I picked her up, it was a little messy under her. And at the time, I thought, oh, it's a little messy. She's sitting on there so long. Maybe she went to the bathroom, whatnot. But then when I'm thinking back and kind of processing, I'm realizing, you know what, that was probably egg yolk. And it was a little bit sticky on some of the other eggs, etc. So now I'm thinking, okay, what probably happened is the copper moran got in the nest box with her. They had a little skiff. Somehow one of the eggs got broken, and the broody mama probably cleaned it up. So I did some reading on that, and that seems pretty common. That can happen. So, okay, we had 9 eggs, now we're down to 8. Not the end of the world, but I do feel like I need to separate her now because obviously one of her eggs got damaged. So, I spend a while frantically making a little separate partition. I actually moved her over 2 nest boxes. I'll show you that in just a few minutes. So she's right next to the door, and then I'm making a little partition so she has a few feet of space next to the door with chicken wire. So she has food and water in there, she can get out and move around a little bit. And then I'm thinking in the morning when she's normally been getting off, or I've actually been taking her off to assure that she does get off, because she's a pretty committed broody, I'll take her off and then I'll just put her back on. So she stayed in that nest area since about 2 o'clock yesterday and then all through the night, and then this morning she was still in there. I was like, great, everything's fine, she's separated, everything's good. So this morning I let her off, she went back on, and then I'm going to go out with the kids and do some fun stuff. So we come back about 2:30, it's about 30 minutes ago, and she's not on her eggs. So she has, the chicken wire is going around, but there's a hole, it's like 4 foot high. She has flown up, out, and she's somewhere in the chicken yard. So I'm freaking out because she is not where she's supposed to be, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how long has she been off these eggs? Maybe a few hours, I don't know. She obviously got freaked out that she was confined. So now I'm like, okay, I obviously can't confine her in this chicken area. She doesn't like that, but I need to find her, and I need to put her back on those eggs, and I need to hope that she wants to stay on those eggs and hope that she didn't break her broody. So I found her under the coop. She was just doing her thing, and I was like, you know, I can't go under there and get her. But eventually she came out. I was kind of observing her. She went back in the chicken coop, and she was sitting up on the roost, which they normally don't roost in the day, but she was all puffed up with her wings out. So I thought, she's still broody. She's just kind of confused because I moved her, all the stuff's going on, people were picking on her. So I put her back in the nest box. She gets out, but she goes back on the roost, stays up there. So I do some chores for a little bit, for 10 minutes, and I'm like, all right, I gotta try again because I gotta get her back on those eggs. Tried again, kind of calmed her down, settled her in, kind of patted her back. And that was about 10 minutes ago, and she's still sitting on the eggs, and she's having all her broody characteristics. So I feel like, okay, have we avoided the drama? Hopefully. So, obviously she doesn't want to be confined. She's now on the end nest box. I'm just going to let it do its thing. I feel like confining her, or trying to, not really confine, but separate, caused more stress than it was worth. Obviously she didn't like that. She's causing too much drama. So I'm going to keep her, let her do her thing, and hope that the other chickens leave her alone. In the meantime, we have another 99% sure broody hen. As I mentioned, the copper moran has been trying to get in there with her. She's been sitting on some eggs a little bit longer. And I keep thinking it's nothing, just like I did last time we had a broody hen. This morning, early this morning at 7, I was like, you know what? Does this girl want to be broody? I don't know. I'm going to mark a few eggs, 4 eggs. I'm going to give them to her. I'm going to let her see what she does. She sat on those eggs from 7 this morning until she was still sitting on them when we got home at 2:30. So pretty good chunk of the day. Then she jumped off the eggs immediately. She was off for about 10 minutes, and guess what? She's back on those eggs. So I'm feeling like she might be broody. So now I'm trying to decide how many eggs do I want to let her sit on. We have 8 under one. The other one right now has 5 under it, 4 that I put under there and 1 that she's laid. So I'm just trying to balance this. You know, I wasn't planning on hatching a ton of chicks. I know that some might not, you know, be viable eggs. Some might not survive. So I might let her have 4 eggs. The black copper Moran hen is the only one we have. Her name is Cleopatra. She actually is really barebacked. I think she's a favorite of the rooster. And last week, I didn't do a video about it because I was just so busy with other stuff, but she actually got a big, about an inch long scratch mark all the way through her skin down to her flesh on her back. On her back where her feathers were bare. So I've ordered hen saddles. In the meantime, I was watching the wound. It was healing, but I'm still just kind of nervous about her raising a lot. I don't know if she's, you know, I was just kind of keeping an eye on her because she did have a wound and I wanted her to take it easy. So now she wants to go broody. So now I'm worried, okay, do I want her to go broody? I was taking her eggs every day. I wasn't really letting her be broody, but she keeps wanting to do it, and I feel like I want to let nature take its course, let her be broody if she wants to. So we're juggling all of that. As of now, she is, in my mind, probably broody. She is not fed overnight. I'm going to leave the eggs in there, and I'm going to let her give it a go and let her see if she wants to sit overnight. So much going on. I can't even get to my garden. Every day I'm like, I need to do the garden, but we have chicken stuff happening out here. They need so much attention right now with the merging, the moving different chicks around. Oh my goodness, it's a lot. So I'll let you see what's going on inside there. We're just going to see what happens at this point of a lot going on. Okay, so I'm going to show you our definitely 1, potentially 2 broody girls. Oh no. You broody. Look at her. She's off her nest box. I'm not sure why. You see I have marked those 4 eggs there, and then she laid 1 of them. But look at how puffed up she is even when she's off. I think she's getting the hormones to be broody, but it's a lot going on because this person is over here bothering her. You can see I had a partition here. And then we have Annie, who is back on her eggs. We're going to leave you alone, girl. You're going to go back on your eggs? We're going to leave her alone for a minute and see what she does. Okay, so it's just now a minute later, and we have 2 chickens sitting on eggs. And we have 1 who's disturbing the peace, ma'am. Wendy, ma'am, hop out. Okay, so I had moved. As you can see, Andy is there in the corner. She's a Buck Orpington hen who has been broody for a week tomorrow. So what I had here was I had some chicken wire nailed here, and then it wrapped around and went kind of to where the divides. And then I set up a divider in between so that no one could get in there. She had food and water. But apparently she did not like that because she flew out. She wants the freedom. So I'm going to try to let her do her thing. I think it's good that I still have the little cardboard divider up because it will keep them separated. So we'll see. Annie, I think, is definitely broody. She got a little thrown off. This one, I'm thinking, is probably broody. When she just like you saw in the video, she was just off her nest, but she was still puffed up. That, to me, is kind of, from my limited experience, but what I've seen so far, they're kind of in that broody trance. They're just kind of being broody, and they're almost like they're in like a drunk haze state. It's really hard to describe. They're just like in a weird state where they don't even know what they're doing, but they're just being broody. So there's Cleopatra. She's a purebred copper Moran. And Annie just sitting on their eggs. So I'm going to figure out how many eggs I want Cleopatra to sit on. And we'll just see if she stays on them tonight. I'll definitely keep you updated. We're probably going to candle the first broody girl's eggs. And then we'll think about Cleopatra here. Thanks for checking in, following along with our broody mama drama. And hopefully we just kind of let these girls chill. The other chickens would just leave them alone. I don't want to move them, but gosh, there's just so much going on. Thanks for checking in. We appreciate you following along, and hope you guys have a great day.